Swear to me. Swear to me that everything that you said about the Fireflies is true.
I swear.
Okay.
The Last of Us Part 2 is a game that has not left my mind for the past 2 years, even if I wish it would. And for 2 years, I've gone back and forth on making a video about it. Feels like everything that can be said about it has been, so why even make this video? Because I just can't let it go. The Last of Us is my favorite game, and it has been since early 2014 when I practically begged my brother to play it on his PS3 that he was selling in a week. I beat the game in less than a day. Like most people, I couldn't put it down once I started it. But before that, I had been desperate to play it for months because of a scene I saw on YouTube.
Oh no. Sarah. Move your hands, baby. I know, baby, I know. Listen to me, I know this hurts, baby. You're gonna be okay, baby. Stay with me. All right, I'm gonna pick you up. I know, baby, I know it hurts. Come on, baby, please. I know, baby, I know. Sarah. Baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Don't do this to me, baby. Come on. Come on. No. No. No, 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 please. Please, please, please don't. Please.
This scene is arguably the most powerful opening to any piece of visual media. I could make an entire video on this scene alone. This scene is responsible for the love I have for The Last of Us. The Last of Us was extremely important to games, and how games can tell stories just as well, if not better, than shows and movies. It helped to push the medium forward in a way that no other game story had at the time, and it legitimized video game storytelling outside of the medium. But it was also an extremely important thing in my life. I was 14 when I first played The Last of Us, and about a month ago, I graduated college. I went for writing, so I could write for films, shows, and video games. And the performances by Ashley Johnson and Troy Baker were so honest and raw that it left me wanting to do something just like that. So now I take voice acting classes. The Last of Us made me want to create and be a part of things that hopefully can affect people the way that this game affected me. All of this to say that The Last of Us means everything to me. It changed the trajectory of my life, and it inspired me to create. I'm extremely grateful I got to experience it when I did, because without it, I may be somewhere completely different in my life. Then, The Last of Us Part 2. There's so much that's already been said about The Last of Us Part 2, and so much that I still want to say about it, but maybe that's a review for a different day. For now, all I can say is this. I so desperately wanted to love this game. For a while I thought maybe I just didn't get it, but I do. And I've tried to be okay with the fact that I don't like it, but I can't be okay with Part 2 because it's just wrong in so many ways. It feels like there's a game missing. because Ellie is almost unrecognizable, and her relationships are underdeveloped, with Joel as the exception. But any hope of seeing that changed relationship is snuffed out within 2 hours. The story that deserved to be told was between Ellie and Joel, centering on the lie that he told her. Yet, it relies on defying expectations that were set up by the story, not by the community. The day before part 2 came out, I felt like a kid waiting for Christmas. I'd finally be able to get back into the story that I've loved for 7 years. Even after Joel died, and I saw the leaks were all true, I still tried to give it the benefit of the doubt, up until the moment Ellie let Abby go. I had been desperately hoping for it to get better, and it just didn't. It felt like losing a part of me. Something that was so close to my heart was treated as a vehicle for a message and not an honest attempt to tell the story that needed to be told. By the end of it, I wish they just left well enough alone. Because of this, part 2 is a self-made disaster. It chose to be controversial and shocking instead of profound and intimate like its predecessor. It chose to be dishonest in its advertising. It chose to bar reviewers from talking about the whole game. And worst of all, it chose plot over character. And at the end of it, I'm left wondering, was it all or nothing? Is this video melodramatic? Yeah, but stories are something that stay with us and become a part of us. The Last of Us is something that means a lot to me, and this felt like a different way to talk about part 2. Hopefully you got something out of this, and if you did, feel free to drop a like.